Hi guys, my name is Clay, and in today's tutorial video, we're going to be going over formulas. So formulas is a really powerful concept inside of Fina because it essentially allows you to use your live financial data that's been linked and cleaned within your Fina account and be able to do formulas within it the same way that you would inside of a spreadsheet. So a lot of these financial tracking tools that exist do one of two things. Either you go the spreadsheet route and it's all manual data, but you can manipulate it and you can do really cool stuff like creating your own metrics and tracking specific things and being able to manipulate cells to multiply, divide, add, subtract, and get really unique answers to your finances. Or you have the other side of the coin. We have tools like Mint in the past where you can link all of your bank accounts live, but you're going to get a very static cookie cutter dashboard experience and you're not able to use formulas and multiply things. So Fina has the best of both worlds. We both link all of your live accounts and allow you to clean that data. We also allow you to create custom dashboards and custom blocks, and you can use formulas within these blocks to get answers to questions that you want to know about your finances. So I've created a new page here. Again, all this data is being pulled live from my accounts. We're going to walk through an example of how to actually estimate your bank balance at the end of the month based on everything that's happening live within your finances right now. Formulas are going to get way more powerful over time, but I'm going to walk through just some very basic examples today on how this actually works. So before we dive into this more complicated example of the estimated bank balance, I'm just going to show you guys how to actually create a block that adds a formula to it from scratch. So if I type the slash command, I can come in here. I'm going to add a generic block. This has no value in it right away. This is going to be just a single number value that we're trying to output. And currently it says there are no metrics added. So as you can see here on the right hand side, this is going to pull data from all my personal accounts and my business accounts. So we're going to go ahead and deselect the business and make this just for personal. The date range, let's go ahead and use the previous month worth of data, and then we're going to go ahead and add a metric here. And when we go to add the metric, we have two options. We have the basic metric or we have a formula metric. In this case, we're trying to do a formula, so we're going to select a formula metric. So ignore the changing title at the top here. This is just AI is trying to figure out what type of block you're creating and appropriately name it for you, but you can always change the name as you wish. We can go ahead and make this block a little bit bigger. Come back to data, and as you can see here, because I added that custom formula metric, there's a line right here, and this is actually where you type the formula in. So right now there's nothing to add because we have not added any variables to our formula. So we actually need to add variables that we want to manipulate or multiply, divide, add, subtract together. So I'm going to add a variable, and there's actually two types of variables that we can add. We can add a constant number, so just a basic single number value, or we can add a basic metric variable the same way we have inside of all of our other blocks. So let's start with the basic metric variable, and let's call this our rent expense. So I'm going to actually make this visible and display this within the block. This is currently taking the total transaction amount, and we need to create a filter for category where we are filtering for home and or rent. In this case, my home category is the same thing as rent for me. So I'm creating a variable here, variable A, that is rent expense. So this is taking the previous month worth of my data, and it's doing a filter for the total transaction amount where the category is rent or home in this case. So that's variable A. We're gonna go ahead and minimize that. We're gonna add a new variable, and we're gonna call this a constant variable. So this constant variable, let's go ahead and make that one visible as well, and we're just gonna call this months. So right now, we're going to say we want to put 12 months in this block. And now we're going to take variable A, we're going to multiply that by variable B, and click enter, and voila, we have an answer here. So this is, we're going to go ahead and call this estimated yearly rent expense. So the cool part about this block is we've taken our actual live data for what we paid on rent last month, and we're multiplying that by 12 months in the future to estimate what our yearly rent expense will be. So it looks like if I see this block here, I can click on it and edit it and see the actual formula that is being computed here. But now I know that this is my estimated yearly rent expense, and actually every month that changes, it's always going to take that previous month. So for example, if for whatever reason my rent expense changes next month, and in that future month I'm looking at what my estimated yearly rent expense, this will update live in real time based on my actual rent expense. So it's taking your live data and we're mixing that and allowing you to multiply it with constant variables in this case. So that is one basic example just to show you guys how formulas work. But let's do a little bit more complicated of an example for our next one. And then that'll be it for today's video, and I'll let you guys try this out on your own. But I'm gonna come back here and we're gonna look at this block that's created here called estimated bank balance at the end of the month. So the way that we're creating this block is the same thing we just did. It's a little bit more complicated of a formula, but this is how it works. Essentially, we have variable A, and it's called current net cash flow. So we created a basic metric. We said we want it to be the total transaction amount where the area is both income and expenses. So essentially, this variable is just netting out your cash flow for the month. And as you can see, it's for the current month. So it's actually taking all your income and all your expenses for the current month, and it's netting those out. So that's what variable A does. Variable B in this case is called the checking minus credit card. So this is actually taking all of your total latest account balances in the current month for all your depository accounts and all your credit accounts, and it's summing those two things together. So essentially, this is taking all your checking accounts and it's subtracting all of your credit card accounts. So that's variable B. And then variable C, we've just left as a blank option that you can edit yourself, kind of like a calculator. We're calling this any other income that you might want to add for an estimate. And then D is any other expenses that you might want to add for an estimate. So if I come up here and show you the actual formula, still pretty simple. It's basically current net cash flow for this month, so variable A, plus our net amount of our checking account minus all our credit card expenses. So what we're gonna do if basically we paid off all our credit cards at the end of the month, that's variable B. And then finally, we've left these other two blank, but we left these as calculator options in case you wanted to estimate what your expenses might be. So for example, as you can see here, we have our current net cash flow, and then we have how much money we have in our bank accounts minus all of our credit card expenses. So we are able to see that in this current month, we are currently sitting at around a potential of negative $1,307 at the end of the month. I could also come here to the right side and I can change this to be a number, a percent, or a dollar value in this case. In this case, it is a dollar value, so I'm going to go ahead and add that and make sure that that is a currency. So this is just a super basic example of how you can start to use your actual live data mixed with some other data or some not live data, in this case, some basic variables or some basic constant numbers to predict things that might happen. So if I think, okay, right now I'm at negative $1,307. Maybe I say like, well, this is because my my paycheck of $5,000 hasn't come in yet. So in this case, I could say I'm estimating that I have $5,000 of income coming in. I can simply do that and see that my estimated bank balance by the end of the month might be $3,693. And then maybe I say, but this also doesn't include, I haven't paid my $500 a month that I usually pay for groceries. So I'm gonna go ahead and add $500 here. And then as you guys can see here, it'll subtract that as well. So now I have this very simple calculator that I've created that I can input numbers into that's also taking into account all of my live data. So this is a really cool use case on why Fina is so powerful and how you can use it to predict things that might happen inside your finances. Hopefully this video has helped you guys. If you guys have any questions about formulas, feel free to reach out to us. These are going to get more powerful over time. These are the most basic examples of some things that you can use formulas for. But we'll see you guys in the next video. And yeah, hope to hear some feedback on how you're liking formulas. Take care.